People are excited about what AI will do for them. We're excited about what AI will do for business.
Meet the Watson X assistants. AI designed to multiply output by automating tasks.
When you Watson X your business, you can use AI assistants to help coders code faster, customer service respond quicker, and employees handle repetitive tasks in less time.
Let's create AI assistants that transform business with Watson X.
IBM, let's create. AI has the power to automate. But if it's using untrusted data, can you trust the results? Your business doesn't just need AI, it needs the right AI for your business.
This is Watson X,
a platform designed to multiply output by tailoring AI to your needs. When you Watson X your business, you can train, tune, and deploy AI, all with your trusted data. Let's create the right AI for your business with Watson X. IBM, let's create.
Good morning once again, everyone, and thank you for joining us at Top in Tech Forum, episode 41, IBM CXO Dialogue, Future Forward, AI and Tech Trends to Watch in 2025. Today, we're diving into the transformative power of generative AI and tech trends to watch in 2025. Before we begin, a special thanks to our organizer, Malaysia Kini, Digital News Asia, and Kini Events in collaboration with IBM Malaysia and our ecosystem partner, Internet Alliance, for making this event possible. Without further ado, let's kick things off. I'd like to welcome Mr. Dixon Wu, Managing Director and Technology Leader at IBM Malaysia, to deliver the welcoming remarks. Mr. Wu, the stage is yours.
Good morning. Good morning. Selamat pagi. Salam sejahtera. My name is Dixon Wu. I'm the Managing Director and Technology Leader of IBM Malaysia. First of all, let me welcome all of you for attending this special event today. A warm welcome, on behalf of IBM, warm welcome to Mas Sivanathan, Deputy Sec Gen, Digital Development under the Ministry of Digital, distinguished speakers, and esteemed guests for gathering here today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we talk about AI. It is a very unique time today. In fact, in IBM, we see this as an opportunity of a lifetime on AI, because a lot of companies today already consider AI as a strategic move rather than adding in afterthought kind of a subject. Many AI discussions are already being discussed in the boardroom during their business meeting. And I would say that this is like a last time during the primitive time, the law of jungle. Either you eat or be eaten. So whether you adopt this disruptive technology or you will be eaten away by your competitors. A recent survey done by IBM in collaboration with Ecosystem, such as a third-party consultant, we actually surveyed about 3,000 customers, CEOs from the Asia-Pacific region out of 24 verticals, industries. In fact, 3,000 CEOs actually commented that by adopting AI will increase the company's strategic competitiveness, as opposed to those who doesn't. In fact, 75% of the CEO also recognize that having AI as part of their company strategy will actually increase their top line, bottom line at the same time. So it's so important and so timely for us to discuss about this topic. So I hope today you'll be enlightened with many discussions that were already in stock from various experts and speakers. Please pay attention to the subject later and feel free to discuss. Don't treat this as a one-way communication, but it's rather a gathering of all the masterminds who came from a various background, subject matter expertise. Please have a wonderful discussion later on. Without further ado, I'd like to pass the floor to Mr. Sivanathan to deliver his keynote speech. With that, thank you so much. Mr. Siva? Oh.
Mr. Dickson Wu, Managing Director and Technology Leader, IBM Malaysia. Mr. Eddie Liu, CTO, IBM Malaysia, esteemed speakers and panelists, members of the media. Good morning and very warm welcome to everyone present today. It is a privilege to be here with all of you at IBM's Future Forward AI and Tech Trends to Watch in 2025. Special thank you goes to IBM Malaysia, Malaysia Kini, Digital News Asia, and Kini Events for hosting this important event and for bringing together such a remarkable group of leaders and innovators in the field of technology. Events like these are testaments to the collaborative spirit and innovative drive that are vital for Malaysia's digital transformation. And as we look towards 2025, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in the evolution of technology. The rapid advancements in artificial intelligence and quantum computing are not just reshaping industries, they are redefining the very fabric of our society. Today, I want to bring forward the transformative potential of these technologies, what the Ministry of Digital plans to do about it, and how we as leaders can harness them to drive progress in our organizations and communities. Ladies and gentlemen, artificial intelligence has moved beyond being a mere tool for efficiency. It is now a fundamental driver of innovation across all sectors. Recent reports indicate that AI investments is growing at an unprecedented rate, with nearly half of all organizations integrating AI into their operations. This shift is not merely about automating tasks, it represents a reimagining of how we operate, make decisions, and engage with our customers. AI is infiltrating more aspects of organizational operations than ever before. From customer service to supply chain management, businesses that leverage AI effectively will gain significant competitive advantages. In Malaysia, the government's budget 2025 emphasizes the importance of AI by allocating RM10 million for the establishment of the National AI Office. And this office will assess the evolving AI landscape, helping Malaysia maintain its competitive edge while protecting societal interests. By considering these perspectives, Malaysia can develop a nuanced and effective approach to AI governance, fostering both innovation and public trust. Alongside AI, quantum computing represents the next frontier in technological advancement. Quantum computing, much like AI, is a transformative technology still in its early stages of development, with the potential to revolutionize industries by solving complex problems that traditional computers cannot address. Its applications span across diverse fields, from optimization and cryptography to drug discovery and advanced material sciences. Currently, we are in the exploratory phase, investigating the vast economic and digital ecosystem opportunities that quantum computing can offer to this nation. These efforts are integral to a broader forward-looking strategy aimed at driving innovation, strengthening national competitiveness, and safeguarding our digital infrastructure against emerging threats, including those posed by quantum advancements. Distinguished guests, the Ministry of Digital is committed in spearheading Malaysia's digital transformation efforts through several key initiatives, such as the establishment of National AI Office, which I mentioned earlier. This office will serve as a central authority for advancing Malaysia's AI agenda, ensuring coordinated efforts across sectors while promoting governance and ethical AI practices. The NIO aims to finalize the AI Technology Action Plan for 2026 to 2030 and establish regulations for ethical AI use. Investment in talent development, where the ministry will support initiatives focused on training local talent in emerging technologies. This includes incentives for companies that engage in training related to high-tech sectors such as AI and robotics. Third, the collaboration with research institutions, where an allocation of RM50 million was allocated for appointed universities, where the ministry aims to enhance research capabilities in AI applications relevant to national needs. And finally, the promotion of cross-sector collaboration, where the ministry seeks to foster partnerships between government agencies, private sectors, and academic institutions to drive innovation that ensure that Malaysia remains competitive on the regional scale. Before I end, it is also notable to mention here that we ranked quite well in the recently released Global AI There was a study done recently. Let me recap that. There was a tool developed and a paper published where we ranked 23rd out of 30 countries where they did this survey. Let me just quickly get that one. It's a very interesting tool. The Global AI Vibrancy Tool. Probably you have seen it, some of you. I think that this is where like conferences and meetings like this will provide a good input and increase our competitiveness in this kind of rankings. So I really like to thank the organizers for having this kind of sessions, and we look forward for more sessions in future. I sincerely hope that we all come together to adapt and harness the power of AI and emerging tech for a better tomorrow. And remember, the future isn't something that just happens to us, it's something that we create. And that, thank you for your attention. I look forward to discussions and ahead as we explore how we can collectively shape the future through technology. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Yang Bersama Sivanesan, for your insightful address. Up next, we have a keynote on the next frontier of AI race, scaling AI for impact. To shed light on this, we once again welcome Mr. Dickson Wu to share his insight. The floor is yours.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to share with you what are the AI trends that are coming. This is a result of the IBM survey that conducted by Ecosystem in collaboration with IBM. Well, the age of AI is upon us in the year 2025. In fact, we see more and more trajectory growth from the AI development. It's not even slowing down. In fact, it's actually run at a greater momentum. Well, as opposed to this year, 2024, we see a lot of AI adoptions in the areas of experimental. I would say that some of the organizations actually chooses certain use cases, small, quick win cases to test out, to increase their productivity, to increase their efficiency and all that. But I think in the year 2025, you will see the trend is changing to a more aggressive, more offensive kind of strategy, whereby organizations are adopting AI for revenue generating instead of improving processes and all that. So you can see the trend is actually coming quite differently in the year 2025. As I said, that a lot of organizations already see the benefits of adopting AI as a competitive tools rather than simplifying the processes. Let me delve into the details. I think number one is about maximizing the adoption of AI impact for business realization, for benefits. I think, as you know, that most of the CEOs in the world, they always have these three concerns that keeps them awake at night. Number one is, how do I increase my top line and bottom line? Number two is about how do I reduce the cost so that whatever top line that I gain, it translates into a better profit if I manage to reduce my cost. Number three is about how do I manage risk. Cyber attack today is getting very, very prevalent, and it's happening every day with the increase of attack surface that now, with all this digitalization process, that more and more attack surface has been manifested. So these are the three top lines. In fact, from the survey done by the Ecosystem, 60% of the CEO wanted to get their return ROI within 2 to 5 years. So 60% of the CEO actually commented, well, I've been invest in AI, I wanted to get back my ROI within 2 to 5 years. But there's also a small group of people, 11% of the CEO wanted an immediate return within a short of 2 years. So I invest, let's say 20 million, I wanted an immediate return in 2 years' time. Of course, each of the companies might have their own objective and how they see it. Sorry. As the AI adoption maturity getting more and more, and we can see that more and more organizations wanted to adopt AI as a strategic competitive tool, focusing on innovation, focusing on getting the ROI, focusing on the business impact. 36% of the CEO commented that they want to focus on innovation of services, building their product and services so that they become more competitive in the market. For example, in the banks, right? The yellow bank will go after the red will go after the yellow, as in how do they innovate their product life cycle so that they can launch the product to the market with the KYC technology, understand the client behavior. Of course, 21% saying that I want to increase my revenue. I think that's important to the bank. Some say that, well, 11% cost saving. Again, some increased employee productivity. And lastly, is improve customer experience. So you can see the trend in 2025 is a bit the other way around, as opposed to 2024, where people are trying to improve their processes, increase the customer satisfaction and all that. But in 2025, the trend has changed quite a fair bit. Sorry. Well, I just want to quote you a few examples. For example, if you remember the launch of Apple 16 lately, with the use of AI, the Apple company already started to look at the trend, how many takers, who are the early adopters and all that, how many people already place their orders in the system. So from the analytics that they gather, they started to launch the insurance product. You know, if you buy an iPhone 16, why not you also buy the insurance to protect your iPhone at the same time? So this will allow the cross-selling and upselling on the iPhone, right, launch and all that. So this eventually enhance and increase the revenue and profitability to the company. Today, if you look at the health industry, people go for blood tests. I'm sure many of us go for medical checkup by looking at your, not to say age, but you know, the profile of the people here. I think people are very concerned about health. But after you've done the blood test, right? So what's the outcome? Doctor will come and probably diagnose. You should, you know, be more observant of your food, your dietaries, and all that. Exercise more and all that. But do you know that from the result of the blood test, if you do it well, you can actually transform that into a monetary by probably introducing some supplement and all that. If you have a high cholesterol, for example, you know, you should take some certain supplement and all that. So that with the power of AI, that allows you to increase or cross-sell your business. Looking at the telco industries, I think when telco faces a downtime, I think there's a lot of process involved from point A to point B to recover, to remediate and all that. So with the adoption of AI at the edge level, from the host to the tower to the last mile, all that, and AI will give you the predictive analysis, and then to come out with the remediation in the fastest manner. So this is also another use case. In the government, I think lately, I think my team also talking to some state government on to understand the spend behavior of every citizen who live in that state, to understand how they spend. So from there, then government can actually analyze the patterns on how the citizen spends their money and all that. So from there, they can then, you know, do a reverse engineering and do some budget allocation for certain population and demographic of the people. So that is also another use case that we are seeing. Of course, there are many use cases that we are seeing from time to time. In fact, in IBM, we are actually a strong proponent of AI today. Just to share that the moment when a new employee join IBM, everything will be well taken care of with the agent that you know, we just need to punch in certain thing. Everything will be then answered by the single line. And this will also help to streamline, consolidated all the back-end processes, workflows, work stream that already installed at the back end. So with a just single query. So that actually helps a lot of, save a lot of time from probably a task of 2 hours to within a minute, you can get your answer already. So talent development, how we issue the plan, incentive plan and all that, it's so simple. And all these are powered by our platform called Watson X. Yeah. A bit of a commercial. Yeah. All right, sorry, I missed the trend number 2. This thing is not so AI powered. I think it's a bit sensitive. Sometimes it go backwards, sometimes it go forward. Yeah. I think it has to do with human. I think human need to also learn how to adopt AI. I think that's important. I will come to that later on. Well, the second is moving, yeah. Well, the second trend is that, you know, ChatGPT, the generative AI was popularized by GPT, but it was developed in a large language model, meaning to say that it's a very broad stroke kind of strategy. So you just ask your questions and then it will give you the answer. But today, I think the trend this year is that it's about right sizing. You won't use a big cannon to shoot a little bird, but AI should be purpose built to drive specific goal, drive specific outcome. So now the thing is that people are adopting open source to lower down the cost, lower down the carbon footprint. You don't have to deploy a big GPU data center just to run AI, but there's a small setup, and that can be also run in the cloud and all that to drive specific function and purpose. So it is a very targeted, no longer like those days you use a large language model, develop a big thing, right, to drive generic purpose, but now it's very targeted and very specific. So this is the second trend that we are seeing. Well, AI, I think we know that it serves a lot of benefits to mankind. It increased productivity, and now that we are talking about increasing top line, bottom line, and all that. But once AI is not governed, it will hallucinate, it will go wild. For example, today, if you ask ChatGPT, if you have a, what they call a depression, relationship problem, that's just an example. You ask GPT, so I have this problem, so what should be my outcome, my next action plan? Suddenly, the answer is divorce. Well, that could be an answer, but may not be suitable for A or B. May be very suitable for A, but may not be suitable for B and C. So the content, the logics behind, it has to be governed. And it has to be upheld in a very ethical manner. That's where the governance, ethics, that morality comes in. I think this is the third trend that we are seeing. More and more organizations are realizing that having the check and balance from this angle, the morality aspect, the ethics and governance, are far more important than just realizing the benefits harnessed from deploying an AI. I can quote many examples of this, but of course, the proper AI, it has to be auditable, it has to be very transparent, and of course, it has to conform to a certain code of ethics as well. So when an organization designs an AI model, they should also look into the governance side of it before an AI should be launched. Otherwise, it will go very wild. The fourth trend that we are seeing is the agentic AI. Agentic AI is about having a personal assistant or agent to assist you. I think I just mentioned about the IBM way. They have a lot of things are already powered by AI from point A, point B, point C, point D. All these are incorporated into the workflow and the work stream. So the moment when you have an inquiries, you just need to type a simple word. Can I check who is this guy? And then the engine at the back end will run for you, consolidated all the workflow and the work stream, go to the streamline the work stream and all that, and then give you an answer in a split second, or it can be in a minute. So all this will help to simplify today, and this is very helpful today. If you look at the banking customers, insurance customers, and all that, when they faces a client, they can just query, type a query, and then you get the answer instantaneously. And all this can be done by adopting an AI platform. Yep. One example is that I think in a Thai hospital right now, I see a lot of men here in the room. I think sometimes when we're getting aging and all that, some will have this prostate issues and all that. So when you do prostate tests, right, all this, blood samples and all that. But how do we then differentiate whether this is a high prostate patient, medium, low risk and all that? So with the sample from the AI, and then they can analyze, well, this is a low risk, medium risk, and high risk. So high risk, then you have a proper treatment. Low risk. Low risk is important. Don't think that high risk we should be treated, but low risk also you got to take a preventive precaution as well. So with all that, will actually help simplify, simplify the whole diagnosis process. The other one is Apple Watch. If you are already into a latest Apple Watch, there's a feature built in called the fall assistant. The fall assistant. In case if you are drop, slip and fall, the Apple Watch will actually automatically connect to your family members, dial in for SOS and emergency. It will help to connect to your family members if you configure your Apple Watch well. So all these are actually coming for incorporated into the Gen AI thing. And I think it helps a lot of helps mankind as well. Well, finally, we talk about AI. I think the final trend is that we also have to take the humanistic aspect to collaborate with the development of AI because it's very important. AI, although all our work, including myself, is indispensable, but I think very importantly is that having AI technology incorporated into your organization is not a zero-sum game. It's not that either AI or human being, but it's actually a cooperative, a collaborative approach, whereby human beings need to be trained like myself at every stage of technology advancement. We need to learn AI, learn technology from the very beginning, during the inception and the adoption and all that. So we need to be technology savvy so that then we can fully use AI to the maximum. Otherwise, job will be changed and a lot of routine job will be replaced by AI later on. But of course, this is for the benefits of the company. People, skill set can be trained and all that. I think a lot of organizations already start to train their executive, to be AI savvy. And IBM also partake in the collaboration recently with the My Digital. And I think last week we do have a graduation program. Also, I think it was graced by Yang Muhammad Gobind Singh, I think, and the Digital Ministry as well. I think the Deputy SecGen were there to observe the witness that the graduates come from the Asia Business School in collaboration with the IBM and some other technology companies to train up 200 executives. So of course the AI development has to also incorporate the empathetic kind of value into AI. It has to be personalized as well. And also it has to keep improving from time to time to look at the human development, coincide with the technology advancement as well. I think that's very important. Well, for Malaysia, what are the key drivers that driving the AI trend? Of course, number one is the labor of skill shortage. Some of the routine job, repetitive job can be replaced by AI. So I think some of the organizations are already adopting that. Of course, some need to reduce costs. Some already adopted the RPA to cut down some of the swim lanes processes. Of course, competitive pressure as well. Like I said, either you eat or be eaten if you're not adopting the latest technology. What are the areas, the benefits of adopting AI? In Malaysia, it's a bit different. I think probably we are a bit behind time compared to the other countries in the APAC region. In Malaysia, I think we are focusing on customer experience. Some adopting chatbot, some personal assistant just to delight the customers. For example, telco today, if you have a phone downtime or whatever, when you call, so there's an AI chatbot that attending to you to help you. So there's a customer experience side. Some is to automate some of the cycle. For example, in a manufacturing, in the assembly line, there are a lot of processes, right? And now with the Industrial 4.0, a lot of OT and IT already connected with the relief of air gaps. And then how do we then automate the process into a more efficient manner? So the AI now being used. Some operators are using computer, instead of using a traditional way, rubber stamp, the assembly line, and some are using computer to computerize the whole thing. All this can be done through AI. Back office automation, all that. While AI is popular, getting traction and all that, but what are the challenges that prohibits an organization to accelerate the AI journey? I think these are the few. Number one is the data accessibility. As you know, that I think IT also evolved from the, people say platform one, the host base, to the mini platform, the mini host, to the client server computing, and now internet. A lot of IT deployments are very silo-centric. Probably some could be application-driven, some could be based on the needs-driven. And data are now everywhere. Unstructured data, structured data, and all that. It's difficult to consolidate what are the useful data and what are not data that are not useful. So it becomes garbage in, garbage out. So first of all, we need to clean the data. Of course, in IBM, we have a lot of solutions to address that, right? Clean the data, automate, and how do we observe the data, and how do we optimize, automate, and all that. Let's talk more on the IBM side. So data is important. And then, of course, the AI strategy, I think it needs to be streamlined and supporting the organization goal, which is the board level goal. Because you can't have a small little pockets of AI driving something that doesn't support the organization end goal. So that's important. But of course, the skill set that we just mentioned, I think earlier on, I think Yambusa Siva also mentioned that I think the skill gap is something that we need to address. So from IBM's standpoint, under the Skill Build initiative, we are collaborating with a lot of academic institutions. Just to name a few, UiTM, Polytechnic Bali Pulau, we're actually providing the AI, generative AI, as well as a hybrid cloud syllabus and inserting into the curriculum so that after they graduated, they are now trained as an AI cyber or rather cyber professional skilled person. So we are doing that. And we're also collaborating with the Asia Business School to train up the executive level. So this is what we are doing. So what's next? Despite all the challenges and all that, AI is here with us, like it or not. I think very importantly is to define which are the areas that will bring high impact to the organization. Pick and choose the battle, start small and grow from there. I think that's very important. Number two is about addressing the human factor. The skill set, I think people like us, including myself, we need to keep learning because technology trends is evolving so fast. It's like happening every day. I think we need to keep abreast in all the latest technology and get ourselves equipped. I think that's important. And then embrace AI as your friend so that we can work together with the AI development. Of course, finally, when I mentioned with the advancement of AI and all that, the governance, the code of ethics, the morality aspect is also very important. So with that, thank you so much for your attention. I hope I've shared with you the 5 trends that's coming in the year 2025. And please get ready ourselves and to embrace that AI that is bringing a lot of benefits to the mankind and of course organizations. With that, thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Dixon, once again for sharing those fascinating insights. Next, we delve into how businesses can harness the potential of generative AI. Let's welcome Mr. Eddie Liu, CTO of IBM Malaysia, to present his keynote on unlocking power of Gen I, why businesses should embrace its AI journey today. Mr. Eddie Liu, the stage is yours.
I've just got briefed how the AI works. Good morning. Hi. Quick question. This is a picture of me. Who thinks this is touched up by AI? 2. Gentlemen is saying this. How about the ladies? Wow, thank you so much. You think this is a genuine photo, right? Which one is younger? I'm younger. Oh, thank you, sir. I'm going to buy you drinks after lunch, right? I'm going to do that. And why I asked this question? Very funny, actually. Oh, just before, let me show you a video of this. There's so many use cases. Let me introduce this video first.
Think scaling your AI pilots is hard? Think again. With Watson X, you can deploy AI across any environment, above the clouds, and on lots of different clouds. On-prem, with your company's secured data, and on center court, with the crowd in real time. On the edge, helping remote bank tellers in the outer reaches. And on the cutting edge, detecting storms in real time from outer space. Watson X helps you deploy AI wherever you need it, so you can take your business wherever it needs to go. IBM.
So that's the brief introduction that AI can be implemented in so many use cases, right? Even from the airplane, right? So anyone take a guess, what does the pilot do most of the time when the plane is flying? Sleeping. Okay, good one. I hope they are not playing any card games. So right now, I think AI needs to keep them busy as well. All right, that's just one example of the video. Why earlier I asked the questions, the photo on AI and which one is younger, comes to a very soon next slide I will share. But the most important thing is, I think Dixon already mentioned the key point. We must embrace, all right, humans with AI will be replaced with those without. It's inevitable, all right? That is already here. Now, how do we survive and overcome this, right? Of course, this is from, I know him, but he don't know me, Mr. Karim, right? He's an MIT researcher. We do collaborate with MIT researchers, so maybe this is a free, pile-up request to my boss to send me to MIT, right? So that the chief technology officer just not the chief t-shirt officer here, right? Now, then again, I always like this, this is, a book is user interface to knowledge. Well, that's so phenomenal. But then again, the way that he put it is AI assistants will become the user interface to business. That's the impact, user interface to business. So imagine how many more people you can reach out with your company's well-hidden products, services, all can be unleashed through AI. I think, like many of us know, ChatGPT has unleashed the imagination what generative AI can do. Yes, it is important. But then again, how do we get it into our organizations? How do we make it an impact? We saw earlier a lot of surveys talk about, yes, we want good virtual assistants, good chatbots. But then again, next year, Dixon just showed that everybody expects the meat out of what we are doing for AI. And that's no joke, right? Everybody invested and expect something. Who wants to invest and expect nothing? Right? No one, right? I'm sure. If someone is here, I will speak to you later. Okay, now, looking at my earlier profile picture, somebody says the profile picture is AI, is a little bit older than me. Thank you so much. Now, we talk about, I don't know, nowadays this is also man's best friend. All right, I know ladies' best friend. Is it still true, ladies' best friend? Yes? Very shy. You can just nod your head, it's okay. All right? Then we can stream back to your loved ones to see you are shaking the head. Now, how do we pick the best diamond? I mean, men, once in a lifetime, you should learn this, right? We learn this, right? We have no choice. And this is what we do as we embark into the new lifestyle, right? A family lifestyle. So, actually, today is my 24th year of wedding anniversary. I'm married at age 16. No, that's just, that part is not true. That's AI, right? No. 24 years, but right, That's when I started to learn how to choose a diamond, right? That's how I didn't seal the deal with the diamond, of course. Yeah, but it helped a lot. So then again, everyone knows how to pick the best diamond, right? Not because you have a credit card, you can pick the best diamond, right? We know all the criteria? Yes. All the manis. Yes, I know. I did that. Okay. So there's all these criteria that we did, right? We talk about the weight of the carats, of the diamond's carats. We talk about the cut, whether it shines through the whole room, all right, when you enter with the diamond. And of course, we talk about clarity. Wow, magnificent clarity, sparkling, all right. And of course, the most important thing is the color, all right. You don't want to spend a little bit lesser to get a different color, right? You want that to be great, nice. That's all important. But one more important note is, when you buy all this, something is missing in this criteria. What is that? Price. Okay, the fifth C from G is cost, credit card. Okay, actually, there's one more important one. It's a certificate, right? Certificate is important. It tells you it's genuine, where it comes from. And of course, you are buying this, not, I know it's legit, has untainted, right? There's, you know, in a couple of years back, there's all these blockchain technologies trying to track, there's no blood diamonds, right? No sacrificial, you know, on all these illegal blood diamonds. But all these are legit diamonds. But picking a diamond is so easy. A few criteria. Now, how do we pick AI? Anyone has done a little bit of research how to pick a good AI? Before we use AI, we have to pick the right AI. That's very important, right? If you pick the wrong AI, what will happen? Now, today I'm going to share a little bit. I know I have 20 minutes, but I'm going to share partial of it. It's a sneak preview. Yes. Large language model is one size fits all. Does one size fits all? Yes, no? No, yes. Okay, everybody has done their homework before they come to this session. One size does not fit all. We have the LLM, right, the large language model. We have the SLM, small language model. Trick questions. Do we have medium language model? That's MLM. No, it doesn't, right? Not yet. No, not yet. Probably soon, right? Then, more question. What's that difference? Why do people want to pick a generative AI over an enterprise AI? There's some very interesting information we need to gather. All right. So those who are embarking on the AI journey, or evaluating, or trying to create AI that is robust, needs these three things at minimum. Do you remember this persona? When you receive this picture on your machine, yes, it's gone, right? You need to pay to get things solved, right? Resolved. These are ransomware. But then this is basically a white hacker, right? They hack things to make sure your cybersecurity resiliency is very, very good posture. Now, for AI, it's the same. We also, in IBM, we engage external parties that runs an attack to provoke the generative AI model, to see whether this model, how does it behave? Is that important, ladies and gentlemen? It is important. I think we just heard, right? There's one recommendation for divorce. Oh my goodness. That's very undesirable. Now, with this attack testing on the large language model, it tells us a few criteria. The first one, it talks about how does we deal with adversarial prompts that are designed to provoke these models, right? And there are few elements, at least, right? There's 2, 4, 6, there's 7. How does it deals with personal identifiable information? Does it simply give out? Or does it know that you are asking for this information and I, as a model, I should not answer you, right? And does it respond with harmful information? Do you want to release an AI that tells people, yeah, you can do that, you can divorce, no issue? Or, and worst one, deception. A lot of people say, does the AI lie? Does it lie? Is it capable of lying? Well, I know my kid, 2 years old, starts to do it without training. But the AI, in a way, it provides deceptions. It gathers the information it knows at that point in time and try best to address that question. And that question might not be the truth. That question may be a deception, right? And for example, I'm just hypothetically speaking, if I go to Apple website, a very nice virtual assistant, is Apple 17 launching? Yes. What happens? Of course, I think Apple shares goes up, right? But after that, there's a lot of disappointment, all right? That's the after effect. Then we have discrimination, substance abuse, right? All this, the AI element needs to be guardrail. So when choosing an AI is important. And of course, explicit content, violence, all right? You can do this, you can do that, providing all these guidelines and recommendations is very dangerous, all right? So picking an AI is like picking a diamond. You need to at least look at the same criteria to understand how AI works on a very, very fundamental. So if you look at how, it says the more the outer ring, the more safe it is, right? So of course, we benchmark our own IBM Granite model against Llama and Mistral, all right? Llama is Meta Llama, all right? So we did that, and this is something we must have before we choose the right implementation. Now, number 2, is AI all free of infringement of IP or third-party use of information? The question is, we don't know until someone found that information. I think we had that article like 1.5 years back, right? Somebody came up and says, there's a lot of trained data in this model that this information belongs to me as a proprietary organization, and you are using it. Either you pay me or I'll see you in the hammer, right? Now that is something you do not want. And what happens is you need an AI model if it's used for a large enterprise, large renowned clients. You need to have a model that is indemnified against all third-party IP claims, right? And those models is safe to use, all right? You won't hit with all these uncertainties. This is one area. Sorry, I'm blocking. Yeah, I know you're not taking a picture of me after that. But this is crucial, all right? Knowing that you are free from all these IP infringements and reuse. Now, shortly, number 3. We talk about, we talk about large language models. Now we talk about small ones, right? Well, and it does specific things, right? And in this case, you need to know why you are using that model. If you're using it for covering 17 languages, trying to promote a product and services, it's easy. But if you're using a model, that same model, and trying to fix a cybersecurity issue, and trying to make my organizations secure, you can't be using a 30 billion or 400 billion parameters. If you're using that, of course, it's burning a lot of GPUs, it's burning a lot of sustainability costs, but at the same time, it's not efficient. Smaller models, the way that they recalculate is much efficient, much faster, and the output is much better, right? And this is what the small language model will do. So use the right purpose-built model, and you can orchestrate your AI. Now, you're going to use many models, all right? And of course, Granite today is from IBM. We also released that as part of the Apache 2.0 license, that you can actually use it and play around with it. And once you really want to make this your real use case that you want to push into your organization, that's also fine, right? It's an options for all the organization to play around, to sandbox. Of course, I think that was a question. AI, once you build everything, is good and running. Just like your car, right? But your car needs to service. We need to get service yearly as well to do checkups. Now, AI, do you think it needs to be governed, or we can let it run? Should be governed, right? The more, one customer came to me. Let me see whether that customer is here. No, just kidding. One customer came to me and says, I have 20 to 30,000 of an AI product because I buy a productivity tool. I think you know what I meant. And he says that there are so many AI models that is being created, and some of them is, you heard about the old word called BYOL, now it's BYOAI, all right? So, okay, new terms for today to bring home, but bring your own AI. So everybody is starting to build any models of AI in the organization, and you have 20,000, 25,000 of them. How do you know which one is causing the right behavior or the worst? Do you know which one is causing havoc? Now you need something to monitor. And this is the next short clip. Help us to understand.
Before you use AI to transform business, accelerate growth, predict trends, you need to begin with trust. Introducing watsonx Governance, helping you govern any AI as data, models, and policies change, so you can scale it responsibly.
Here we go.
Let's create AI that begins with trust with watsonx Governance. IBM, let's create.
So these are quick statistics of why when we have an AI model, it is not, people look at explainability, people look at the ethics of it, all right? And we saw the 7 elements of it. We then, of course, the last 2 is bias and drift. No one will use if that thing keeps on telling you different answers after 2 days. You can go there. Mirror, mirror on the wall, am I pretty? Chat. Right? The ChatGPT says, yes, you are pretty today. Tomorrow it's not. Wow, I tell you, it ruined my day. But then again, it needs to have consistency. So it cannot drift a bias, right? So we need something to monitor that. So that when you run your AI, it has consistency to address the needs of your customer. And consistently, then it will build revenue. And how do we do that, right? And this is the part that I talk about, use cases. Whoop. Okay, shouldn't do that. Too fanciful, the AI didn't work. Use case sharing. Now, I think Dixon mentioned a few. Of course, this is, we work with soul machines, so you can create a lot of avatars on your phone, on your tablets, on your websites, and of course, you can interact and have conversations to understand a lot of wealth products, etc., etc. Or it can be a customer service as a government, or it can be in immigration. That's quite common, all right? But we have to level it up and make it more Asian. No problem. We can actually create an avatar like this. Now, question: wouldn't we want everybody have a mobile banking, right? Yes. Who has more than one mobile banking app? Ah, more than one. Oh, these are very rich people. Who has 3 mobile banking apps? Ah, do you work for the banks? Okay. Or no, I think I suspect they work for Central Bank. Who has 4? 4? 1. Okay. You're in a fintech, sir? No. Okay. but has a lot of placement, I'm sure. So, is all your 4 apps experience, are you happy with those experiences? No. I've been using the yellow, the red, the blue, you know, every color, and of course one come out with 2 alphabet banks, and you know, works very, very nice intuitively, you know. Then after that, a red one come out, right? Another red one. So they compete, and our experience goes up, right? But how do we, today I've never seen the 6 applications of the mobile banking. If I have salary credited into that account, or I have an influx of funds, it never tells me about, do you want to earn extra? Is $50 not good enough? But to me, it's good enough. So yes, it's time I indicate my boss for a raise. But then, thank you, boss. So what it means is, the point of engagement with the AI is able to personalize based on your mobile banking, your trends of influx of funds. For me, maybe it's asking for 1,000. Maybe for the gentleman with the 5 banks and the 4 apps and all that, I think you probably ask for more, right? But this is how it engages and creates a mind share and an options. Always give an option to your customers. When they give an options, it's easy to take up. Now, I think one was mentioned earlier is everybody buys Samsung and Apple. When you buy these screens, you always go and check and try to get they will always promote insurance coverage. Now, have anyone seen this screen before? No? All right. Okay, it's not a memory test. This screen is a purchase requisition screen. Every organization needs to purchase something for their company and every employee. So what happens is we have this organization in the government that they have more than 20,000 of people trying to purchase. And the interface is so complicated. They have to navigate 20 to 30 interfaces or screens to even purchase something below 2,000 of value. Is that good productivity, people? No, it's a waste of time, right? Oh yeah, I get a buzzer. I need to speed up a little bit. So in short, we created a virtual assistant and says, hi, good morning. I want to buy a laptop with this brand. Then immediately we get a response. It's a yes or no. I like this color. Okay, is this available? What type of specs is there? Go ahead. And that took like less than 2 minutes. So you don't need to navigate. And reminds me of one thing we are very certain with the government. We have to do our tax paying. We have to do LHDN. We have to submit our tax, right? Once a year, at least, right? And that I cannot even remember when they changed the screen. When they changed one screen, it took me another 20 minutes to find out what I need to submit. So, so it's not that I don't want to submit my full declaration, but they changed the screen, right? All right, so that's productivity impacting your organization. Now, of course, a few of these is important. Like I say, IBM, with more than 200 over 1,000 employees, we embrace generative AI to support this community, 200,000 of them. So we already have asked HR, where we don't need to go into our HR system, we don't need to go into our benefit system, we don't need to go anywhere. All we need to do is to have a virtual assistant, and it does everything for me. And in December 11th, a couple of days, we're going to launch a generative AI that will do hiring for me, right? With 200,000 people, I need to hire 20,000, 50,000 people, and how do I do that at scale, right? So they're empowering all the managers like us to actually tell the AI, I want to hire these skill sets, and it will find all the resumes and everything for me. And the whole entire agentics process will take place. Okay, I am behind time, so maybe this is a wrap up. There are more use cases. In fact, in Asia Pacific, my team has completed a staggering of 1,400 pilots for various industries, right? From banking, manufacturing, governments, automotive, anything else, right? 1,400 of them. So if you are keen to know more about all these use cases and how does it prioritize on revenue or cost or productivity, you can talk to myself and of course the rest of the IBMers here today. With that, thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Eddie, for that thought-provoking session. Now it's time for our fireside chat. But before that, just give us a little bit time to settle down. If you would like to go for a short loo break, please do so. And we'll back.
People are excited about what AI will do for them. We're excited about what AI will do for business.
Meet the Watson X assistants, AI designed to multiply output by automating tasks.
When you Watson X your business, you can use AI assistants to help coders code faster, customer service respond quicker, and employees handle repetitive tasks in less time.
Let's create AI assistants that transform business with Watson X.
IBM, let's create. AI has the power to automate. But if it's using untrusted data, can you trust the results? Your business doesn't just need AI, it needs the right AI for your business.
This is Watson X,
A platform designed to multiply output by tailoring AI to your needs. When you Watson X your business, you can train, tune, and deploy AI, all with your trusted data. Let's create the right AI for your business with Watson X. IBM, let's create. People are excited about what AI will do for them. We're excited about what AI will do for business.
Meet the Watson X assistants, AI designed to multiply output by automating tasks.
When you Watson X your business,
You can use AI assistants to help
coders code faster, customer service respond quicker, and employees handle repetitive tasks in less time.
Let's create AI assistants that transform business with Watson X.
IBM, let's create. AI has the power to automate. But if it's using untrusted data, can you trust the results? Your business doesn't just need AI, it needs the right AI for your business.
This is Watson X,
A platform designed to multiply output by tailoring AI to your needs. When you Watson X your business, you can train, tune, and deploy AI, all with your trusted data. Let's create the right AI for your business with Watson X. IBM, let's create.
CEO of Digital News Asia. Karam, the floor is yours.
We're going to keep it up to. Thank you. Okay, there you go. Thank you. So look, we're going to keep it, going to end it at 12 noon sharp. So we want this to, I think like Dixon said earlier, we want this to be participative. So, you know, if you have questions, put up your hand and they will share, somebody will share the mic with you. And also, I think we've got people listening, we have people listening online. And I think my colleague Diana will alert me if there are questions from online, and hopefully we have time to take those questions, right? And even those on the floor here also. Not going to introduce everyone. You can check their LinkedIn profiles, right? Save time with that. Dr. Sadesh is a bit nervous because I said normally they put the roast in the middle. But he thought, coming from within, he thought I meant roast, R-O-A-S-T. You know, I said, I'm not going to grill you, so don't worry about it. Anyway, we're going to get started now. So I'm going to just go with Alina first, right? And just do it, you know, coming towards me. First question is, what role does AI play in your organizations, right? Long-term strategy for innovation and growth, which is a bit of a strange question because she comes from an agency that is promoting AI right out into the ecosystem, but this question is kind of directed at your organization, right? Because you got to eat your own food also, right? Okay.
Thanks, Karam. That wasn't the question we prepared for. Anyway,
it's called a curveball.
Yes. For those who don't know what MyDigital is, I think I should give a brief description. MyDigital is an agency under the Ministry of Digital. We actually started 3 years ago under the Ministry of Economy. Our main role is actually to monitor the digital transformation initiatives under the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint and the National 4IR policy. And we report the progress to a council, a national council that is being chaired by the Prime Minister. Used to be quarterly, now Prime Minister is very hands-on and he really wants to know progress and all that. So we're having it every 2 months.
Every 2 months now?
Every 2 months now.
Sign, no? Yes,
we have to report. So we work closely. So under the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint, it was launched in 2021, and it was the framework for Malaysia to be a digitally enabled country by 2030. So we have, I think the government has done a good job in drawing that roadmap for Malaysia to achieve that, with a target of achieving, 30% contribution to GDP by 2030, and we are, we're on track. We are already at, we are ahead of track. Yeah, we are about 25%, 25.5, I think now. So we are on track, and the beauty of this is that the clusters that we have identified are headed by the cabinet ministers. The respective clusters. For example, on talent is headed by Ministry of Human Resource. So, and they recently, from the blueprint initiatives as well, they have recently published a report on AI impact to the workforce in Malaysia, and the studies are quite interesting. So these are the things that we do in MyDigital. As an organization, we are a small organization, and I think what the IBM team said, discussed just now or presented just now resonates well with MyDigital, because while we are advocates of technology, as a small organization, we use AI in our as a daily tool for us to use, in our daily work and all that. That's about it. It's really, AI is really a tool, and I think the word AI itself can be misleading, because AI has been in Malaysia or in the world for a long time, but they probably in different names: algorithm, data, big data, stuff like that. But because of generative AI, it gives that sexy persona to AI, and suddenly AI is popular again. And to me, it's important for us to break it down further, because when it comes to especially talent, when we were talking, and most forums that I attend, the issue is, do we have sufficient talent? Do we have sufficient talent to support the country's growth especially in AI? So I think what the Ministry of HR is doing now with their My Mahir program, and also supported by the various partners that we have within the government and also the country, inshallah, we may be able to meet the demand and actually create new jobs that's coming out. We have emerging roles that's coming out from the new technology.
Okay, good. So that's really about the role, what role government is playing. So it's two key takeaways. One which I didn't know was that our PMX is now, having that status report, right? He wants to keep his finger on the pulse once every 2 months versus once every 3 months. That's strong statement of intent there. And the other one is, if you caught some of the media reporting on the Ministry of HR, producing that report, actually 2 other ministers were there also, right? I think Govind was there, and the Minister of Higher Education. So that shows, the government, also the respective ministers, they've all got their KPIs, right? They're taking this very seriously. Just quick one, you mentioned AI tool, and I think Dixon also mentioned it. And I had a quick call with the CEO of a listed company earlier, and he's in Vietnam now, but I was just asking him how AI is being used in your organization, and he said that it is a tool for us. And more important, he said, we are all in on AI. Very interesting, his own words, we are all in on AI. And then later he said towards the end, we are pivoting towards AI. And then he also happened to mention that quarterly results, they had a 12% increase in revenue Q over Q. And I said, but what impact was AI? And he estimated that AI made a 1% contribution of their 12% to the top line growth. Very interesting, coming from a business owner, a listed company. So, okay, let me just quickly move on to Loh now, right? And maybe talk about what role AI does play in your organization, right?
So I think as a so-called digital enabler, right, digital infrastructure enabler as Time.com, right, actually we do provide 3Cs services to the market, right, whether it's to the businesses or the government sector as well. So for the 3C, basically, I think the very well works you guys are connectivity, and today also we are providing the cloud services as well as cybersecurity services. So what AI play the roles in our organization? Basically, it incorporate into every part of our business today as a strategy. But however, the implementation stage definitely will go by stages, right? So of course, the very top priority, the AI implementation will be on improving our efficiency in the operational efficiency, as well as to improve the customer experience, right? So based on our today, the network infrastructure and also cloud infrastructure, as well as cybersecurity managed services, there are a lot of information we need to process from day to day. So we rely on the machine learning, right? The machine learning, we don't call it AI, right? We used to use the machine learning, right, to process the vast or massive data and make it meaningful to our operational team, instead of everyone process it manually and overload our workforce, right? So I think that is the current state of the AI adoptions in our organization.
Like just quick one, like on a scale of 1 to 10, right, in your own organization, where do you think AI, adoption is, right, internally?
I think, to be honest, I think it's still at the 3. Right? To me, I can say we are at the very beginning of the journey, right? And with the certain specific use case, right? Using the it's a small language model, right? So we are not at the deploy at this large language model yet, or generative AI state yet.
So that's very interesting. Look, it's a very technology-oriented company, and yet AI adoption, and I'm not surprised. I'm glad you're being honest about that. I'm not saying people are listening live also. 5, 3, great. I believe that. So it just shows that we are still also at the very earliest stages of the journey, right? A lot more upside to go. And by the way, the CEO was saying just now that it's about almost 3,000 strong organization. He's also creating awareness among all the rank and file, right, about AI, because they need to know that he says it's a tool, and because they are closest to the ground, to customers and to the business, how they think maybe AI can play a role. So that's a really it was just by chance I happened to call a brick and mortar CEO, not somebody who's tech savvy, and I was amazed at his answer. So while adoption is still low, there are some very bright spots out there who people, CEOs know, right? AI is a tool. Like, look, Tony Fernandez, he's not a tech savvy guy, but he told me once that, look, you know, that time he said going online, right? Using e-commerce and all, it's just a tool. He recognized Jet Keating, and you're as a business owner, you got to use whatever tools possible, right, to help you create upper product. That's all there is to it, not really rocket science. Okay, now, Dr. Sadesh, the question for you is about around data, right? A lot of people say data is the lifeblood of modern organizations. How can an outfit like Bursa effectively leverage data, right, and AI to enhance operational efficiency and innovation?
Thank you, Karam, for the question. So initially, we started off with our data collection. We have huge data collection.
Oh, yeah, man. By the day, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. So with that, we started off with having our own platform, getting all the data up in a single central repository.
Sorry, when you say we started out, just give them a reference time frame. What year was this when you say we started out?
So we started out the initiative around 2020 when we had to understand what is our maturity in terms of our data framework. So we embarked with one of the the big fours, and we understood what was our maturity. We started off our journey from there. There was a lot of key points given by the assessment where we are in terms of maturity and what model that we use for maturity assessment, and what are the key areas that you should focus on. Because if you look at the maturity assessment, there's a lot of key areas that you can look on, but what are the priorities that you're going to focus on? That's very important. So one of the key points was establishing our own central repository. We call it as enterprise data platform. So once we established that, we started to look at what are the key points that we can leverage out of the data. We started to do a lot of machine learning, started off with machine learning, started off with advanced analytics. We slowly moved on into getting our data quality up, the part of data governance. There's a lot of knowledge area that we wanted to focus on. So we started off with that until we have a strong sense that our data is cleansed, curated properly. Then we started to use those data as a product, commercialized product. And then we started to look into AI. That's where we started with a simple chatbot. And
what
then,
year was this then when the AI started coming into the picture? You started 2020 around your getting your data in order. And what year was the AI element?
AI element started off somewhere around 2023, 2024. So we started off with a simple chatbot, and then we start some POCs with Gen AI. We saw there's a huge potential for us. So we are still in the midst of putting everything together, because there's a lot of things that we have to put in place, especially in the areas of AI governance. Although we have data governance, but AI governance is a different monster altogether.
Interesting, huh? Data governance long established, right? People are talking about analytics at least 7-8 years ago in a serious manner. Now you're talking about AI governance is different, huh? Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Interesting. So okay. Maybe then we'll just move on to the second Goldman guy, right, on the panel. And I won't throw you a curveball, although Elena handled that very well. So look, a lot of people may not be familiar with what MITE does, but what role does it play in fostering innovation, right, and driving transformation growth in the country through public-private partnerships? And more important, what have been the challenges in executing this role?
Well, the thing is, we're an organization that's built on public-private partnership, but specifically on high technology. High technology. Now, if you know high technology,
no deep tech. High technology.
High technology.
Height means that's me.
High technology.
I'm walking high technology guy.
High technology is E&E, aerospace, medical, and for your information, Malaysia is number 9 in terms of high-tech exports in the world, and we have been among the top 15 countries in the last 10 years. That is something that people don't know.
Yeah, definitely.
So now the challenge with regards to moving forward with regards to AI is actually the applied AI. How do you get AI into those high-tech sectors? AI into what was depicted in the video. AI into aerospace, AI into drones, AI into other things. So that's the thing. We're not talking about AI for AI's sake. but how do you apply this AI? Yesterday I was in a similar forum like this, and the conversation,
Meranti, right?
yeah, at Meranti. So again, we were talking about how AI is being deployed in drones to identify sea levels, for example, identify crops or land use. So those are the conversations that's happening at the high tech level, at the high tech sectors. Now we promote, coming back to your question, we promote this public-private partnership because due to the fact that most of the solutions comes from the private sector. Now the role of government is actually to provide the ecosystem for business and industry to thrive, as well as adoptions of technology to solve actually issues and challenges. So I believe, although we're an advocate of technology at MITE, we believe that the first point to identify is what problem you're trying to solve. Then only, because we mentioned a lot about tools. So if there is a problem that could be solved by AI, then only we embark on AI. If not, then it's not going to benefit you. Yes, exactly. Exactly. So I'll just go out because I'll take from the question. In MITE, we are developing a system, an AI system, to actually, because we have a 30 years history depository of information with regards to policies, policy reviews and things like that. So what happened is we're developing a system that actually could crawl, look at this 30 years history and come up to us with telling us, if we make a query, they'll tell us what we need to know, whether the policy has been used, failure, or what. So, we could learn. And the idea is actually to increase our productivity. If a white paper could produce in 2 months, now we could produce in 2 weeks. So the idea, that's the challenge I put to the team of researchers and analysts, as well as the people that's developing the tools.
Okay, interesting, good, thanks. Very strong reply there, and interesting data point you shared about Malaysia being ranked so high, and as an exporter of high technology products. Of course, heavily skewed by the success of Penang, right, and the semiconductor industry. Okay, let me, Elena, now back to you, right? So this non-curveball, but it's a simple question, but it's tough because it's talking about how your organization, right? Does your organization drive synergy, right, to build a robust and sustainable digital ecosystem in Malaysia?
Like I said, we are number one because we are a monitoring agency. We are
not enforcement, right?
Not enforcement. We are monitoring, so we are seen as a friendly party. We have the ability to bring people together in one room. For example, on the AI governance, Mosti did a very good job launching the AI governance and guidelines recently. But concurrently, we also initiated a discussion together with another technical tech company, with ISIS, and brought everybody together in a room, the Bar Council, the private players, industry players, academia, So we have that ability to create that neutral platform to bring everyone together and create that conversations and get input for policies, for decision making. Recently, we worked with Bursa. When you talked about solving problems and having applied AI, none of the presentation actually highlighted sustainability. And I think we did a very exciting project with Bursa Malaysia, where we opened up a challenge to not just Malaysian startups but also globally. So another arm of MyDigital is the Malaysia Center for Fourth Industrial Revolution. So that is in collaboration with World Economic Forum. So we have a link to the global startup scene as well. And we open up, we had 5 public listed companies that came on board and had problems that need to be solved. We blasted out globally and Malaysia. And 30, I think we got 100 submissions. Yeah, we had 100 submissions. 30 are from Malaysia. And the winners, actually 3 from Malaysia and 2 international. And the solutions they came back with was amazing. On sustainability, how do you use AI data to solve sustainability issues?
Yeah. When you talk about sustainability, that's just a huge, conversation on its own. Okay. Let me just move on to Lo now. But before I do, I really hope we get questions from the audience because, you know, our friend Tila Raj is there. And I think Raj is, if there was a ranking of the top 10 CTOs in the country, Raj would be in the top 3. Yeah? That's how I've known him for a long time, so he's one of the best among the best in this country. So hopefully there'll be a sharp question from you. And then I didn't realize that we've got one of the best corporate, you know, innovation academics in the country. So former VC, but now he's head of innovation and also sustainability at Asia Pacific University, right? One of the top universities in Southeast Asia. So please let me have at least a question from you two gentlemen, if not from the audience who are listening at home. Okay, quickly, Lo. Question is on, you know, how do you identify and navigate the challenges and opportunities associated with AI adoption and key lessons you've learned along the way?
So I think also aligned to what Dixon presented just now, right? One of the biggest challenges is accessibility to the data, as well as accessibility to the data, right? As well as the so-called availability of the computing power infrastructure, right? To support this all these AI or machine learning initiative, right? So as you know, I mean, data is there will be not lack of data actually. There in current modern days, right? There are a lot of data in organizations, right? But important is how to put in the so-called the meaningful data, right, together, right, and to process it, right. But even you put it all together, it's still a massive data that need to be processed. So you need to find, you need to identify a proper so-called use case to start with, right, so that you don't really need to rebuild the whole GPU, massive GPU farm to process it, right, and see, and also we didn't work within the constraint of your investment for the infrastructure, right? So the lesson learned is to identify the most top priority or so-called low-hanging fruit that have a immediate outcome, right? So that the management, right, or the board able to appreciate it as well as provide further investment on the infrastructure for you to invest in this AI initiative, right? So one of the typical, our most success case is so far the Smart Wi-Fi initiative, for our home broadband, right? So I think 2 years back, right, we have been rolled out this Smart Wi-Fi to every home. Okay. So as you know, Wi-Fi is the most uncontrollable so-called element in the network. Right? Fiber is predictable, right? So all this frequency we cannot see, cannot touch. But how do you manage it, right? So and a lot of interfere, especially this when you talk about Wi-Fi, is unlicensed band, then is unmanaged. So a lot of interference within your unit and your neighboring unit, and within your condos, all interfere with each other with all the frequency. So using the machine learning technology, right? So we're able to predict the interference and automatic fine-tune the frequency within your whole condo, right? So that you don't interfere with each other to have a so-called a smooth user experience, right? However, this is this kind of project, right, or also called a long-term initiative. It generates a lot of data to be processed, right? It requires heavily, a lot of storage to store the data, plus the computing power. So internally, we have embarked on this software-defined storage kind of initiative, right, compared to a traditional SAN or NAS, right, to cut down the cost to store all this massive data, right? At the same time, right?
Yeah, you have to cut down costs because you're incurring costs now on the hardware side, right? To store the data.
And as you know, GPU is very expensive, right? Yeah. So we do not opt for GPU to do this kind of so-called industry-specific use case. We use so-called the ARM-based NPU, right? So that it cut down the cost of the hardware and plus and also the power consumption. Understood. Right. So by having all these different multiple strategy, right, we're able to achieve the objective of the project, and it really cut down the cost of our truck roll, or so-called the technician site visit to the home. Yeah. We're able to cut down about 85%.
No way, 85%.
85%. Oh, wow. Right. So
and able to deliver better customer experience at the same time.
Yeah. So remotely, right? Yeah. So this is one of the significant success case, right? And of course, we are looking forward to implement more and more kind of.
Once you have a big win like that, right,
Yes,
with some
correct.
incredible data. So very interesting because I think Lo was mentioning when they were executing AI, right? He mentioned cost, right? Budget. And the CIO this morning of an international financial services company told me that, you end up in the trap of the technology assessment affordability when you do AI, because you can do pilots, right? But you also want to do a pilot with an eye that if the pilot is successful, then you got to make sure that you have the budget to execute it in the organization. So, while you talk about AI, you can experiment, but when it's hitting it at a big business, are you able to have the budget to do something? Because if you don't, then the organizers say, what is this? AI, then something useful, and we have found the pilot useful, and we want to use it, then the company got no budget to do it, right? You lose credibility if you subsequently want to do something. So those are real business challenges out there. So interesting that you kind of replicated, right, what he was saying, echoed. Okay, Dr. Sadesh now, AI relies heavily on data. What are your thoughts on balancing AI innovation with data quality and data protection? That's a tough question. I didn't come up with that.
So, first question is on the data quality. Data quality is a very important element for any data, right?
And it's a hygiene factor, right? It's important with a hygiene factor.
Absolutely. So, although it's one of the key area in a data management or even in data governance to ensure that your data has high confidence and your data is trusted. So we put a lot of effort in terms of making sure our data is sanitized. We have a lot of customers who are looking at our data. They need to have a clean and accurate data before they can make decision whether that is the right investment they're going to put in. So how are we ensuring? We start off with our source system itself. We started with a lot of efforts to ensure that data quality is upright, and we put a lot of emphasis in terms of gatekeeping our data quality from source right up to our single repository. So having said that, we also look at a lot of data protection initiatives. You know that we have this PDPA coming on board, GDPR coming on board,
yep.
Right? So we have to look at how can we label our data, how can we classify our data, making sure that these data is being protected. Putting data on cloud is always a big risk. So we always ensure that our PII data are being hashed, being anonymized, being encrypted.
Sorry, when you say PII, does everyone here know, anyone not clear what PII is? We throw these terms around, right? Maybe just share what PII means.
Sorry.
I think private investigator.
So PII, personalized and identifiable information. Yeah, sorry for that. So like your name, IC number, email address, phone number, those are very sensitive information that we do not want to put as a text on the cloud. And you don't want to share this information there, and it becomes the eye for the hackers or eye for the people to grab these data.
Yep.
Right. So we are very, very concerned about all these things, because since we are seen as the National Stock Exchange, we are very, very concerned and putting a lot of controls over these data. And if you notice that between the balance, data quality and data protection, we ensure that both has equal controls that we have to put in place. There is nothing say that quality is higher than protection. We put in both, and we start right from the source system. We ensure our firewalls and those who are going out of public networks are very well protected. Data at rest, data in transit, everything has been protected so that we know what we are receiving versus what we are giving out. Yeah.
I think the pressure now is also high. Like information moves at the speed of thought, right? Like Bill Gates once quoted that if there's a breach, right, the information is not just within Malaysia, right? Straight away, regional, news sites and all are picking it up and all that. So it's very intensely stressful. Okay. We'll move on. Look, we are actually the last 10 minutes, but I'm going to stretch it to an extra 5 minutes. We'll end at 12:05. So I'm hoping to get questions from the audience. So just move on to Rushdi now, your second question. What did Mike first recognize, when did you first recognize AI as the key technology of, I think the sound coming in, that's not me. When did you first recognize AI as the key technology of the future? And what have you done? How are you trying to convince the government it needs to focus on getting the country ready? Which I think is a done deal already, right? Because the country is very in tune, as Elena shared, but you maybe just want to take this quickly so we can go on to the next question.
The first report that we did was on a National Technology Foresight in 2010.
2010.
2010.
Hey, sure or not?
Yeah, no. Listen to me out. 2010, but at that time we were talking about expert systems and machine learning. Okay.
It was phrased as
expert system and machine learning. Yeah. But in terms of 2016, then suddenly, when the conversation with regards to the fourth industrial revolution, then of course the term AI starts to now suddenly it becomes more sexy, the term because generative AI. Now I like to point out that as early as 1872,
I was not born yet.
All right.
Don't let the white beard
1872, Samuel Butler wrote a book about thinking machines. So there's already thoughts about those things. So you just imagine the evolution and the revolution, but there was creative writing already talking about machine learning then in 1872. In fact, the latest one, I think they were to draw reference to him, they were talking about Butlerian jihad due to the fact people moving away from thinking machines in the Dune series. So again, that is fiction. But coming back to real life, of course, we're starting to look at this seriously since 2016. As I said, at Might, we're looking at it for our use 2016. But now, again, when we want to promote things, of course, in Malaysia, for organization, because we help a lot of public and private sector to look at this, we talk about, we said when we want to deploy things, first, look at first. Look at first. FIRST. F, funding. I, infrastructure. R, regulations and policy. S, skills and talent. And T is the technology and technology ecosystem. Because AI would not have thrived the way it is without the whole technology ecosystem with regards to advances in computing, the language model, the skills and talent, of course. That's a whole 2 days conversation we're going to have. Policies, I think just now we talked about, there's already, I think from our last count, there's already about 10 policies that advocates the use of AI.
In where?
In Malaysia. In Malaysia.
That's over police.
Yeah. So infrastructure, I think, we have broadband, 5G is coming up, but the challenge is, of course, F, funding. Just now, we mentioned 50 million ringgit.
For the university?
For the university.
And 10 million?
For 10 million for in the budget for I think for the National AI Office.
Actually, I'm not happy with that, right? That is a pittance, man, 10 million.
Exactly.
I mean, if you have global ambitions, right, you declare that, I think it should have been 100 million, right, to begin with.
Let me give you a figure.
Okay.
Our neighbor up north, 2021 and 2022 spent 63 million USD for AI research.
Like 3 years ago, wow.
Yep. So
we're way behind the curve. Any minister is listening, 10 million is a pittance. Okay. Yeah, okay. But anyway, yeah, that scares me.
I'm advocating for her to receive more money.
Yeah. Digital is advocating AI very strongly. We have policies. I think YB Gubin just tabled a few months ago on the new PDPA bill. There will be a data sharing policy coming up soon. There's also a cloud policy coming. So the policies are coming out to help support. MITI, MDAC, and all are doing a great job in building that ecosystem. We have great data centers, we've got great infrastructure, we've got great connectivity. The 5G coverage in Malaysia, I think, is one of the best in the world. And I think we rolled it out, one of the fastest rollout.
The fastest, actually, according
correct?
to McKinsey.
Yeah, so, Malaysia as a nation are ready as an AI nation. And I think that's why the government felt that it's time for us to have a national AI office to bring everybody together on a single platform, on create a strategic path forward so that everybody can move forward together. Because currently AI is everywhere. We don't have a view what is happening everywhere. There's academia going ahead. They're already into quantum computing. That's going to be like another huge thing that's going to blow up. So the National AI Office is there to not just to issue grants or anything, but more of policy making, ensure that we have the right guardrails. It's governance also another big conversation that should be held. EU went on hard with proper act on, and that just kills innovation. So Malaysia still has that opportunity to look into how should we move forward with AI.
All right, interesting, good. Thanks a lot. So like I said, the amount of money is not yet strong enough, but hopefully we'll see a lot more coming in now. There is a question from someone online, and I just want to maybe have one person on the panel take this because we are running out of time. And this is from someone called Kwan Pan, right? Quite an interesting question. Only one of you can answer, whoever feels strongest for it, right? No competition, don't have to put your hands up, just to speak. Can we use AI to control AI? Interesting, when people are already talking about that, right? A master AI, in a sense, by government of countries, right, or jurisdictions, or support by experts, to control AI. Because AI is going to be developed by businesses and by countries, right? I mean, North Korea is already, and the bad actors out there are already advancing AI for their own nefarious needs. So, is there, do we need, can we use AI to control AI? So, who would like to take that? And if you are not able to take it, that's fine. We'll move on to the next question. Because that's why I say it's a good question to ask. Anyone? No? I'm going to ask Dr. La. You got a PhD, bro. Come on. You got to at least give this a try, okay? You got the credentials to at least answer that.
So typically, it's a very good question. Typically, you do have those things. I mean, at this particular point of time, I don't think so we are ready to have a so-called, as I heard just now, mother AI controlling the child AI kind of thing, right? So we don't have that kind of governance, or we don't have that kind of framework in place. But moving forward, definitely this is something which is seen feasible implementation. Like if you have a autonomous car, you may have another AI which is going to control this autonomous car, because you need to understand, you need to control what are the new algorithms they're going to push in, how you're going to control what's going to happen. So they should have a supervisory AI which is going to control rest of the agent AI which is going around. So I foresee that, but definitely something in the future.
In the future, okay. So let me just move on to a question from for Elena wanted to take this because people RSVP'd beforehand. And this is a question from actually a startup founder. He's a Brit who has launched his company in Malaysia, like I think about 6-7 years ago. Hakim Karim, right? His company is called Grid Markets. So he's asking, and Elena wanted to take this question, what are the barriers to widespread Gen AI adoption?
Awareness. I think the biggest obstacle or challenge is awareness and the fear of technology. I think that's when we realized this, and early this year we launched AI Untuk Rakyat. PM launched AI Untuk Rakyat, a collaboration again, a PPP with another tech company that came forward and said, hey, we need to create this awareness. The country is moving forward very fast with technology, and AI has come into play, but the mass public is still not aware what AI is. So we've gone down to the grassroots and created AI Untuk Rakyat so that people can actually have an understanding what is AI. And break it down to smaller pieces, what's large language model, and that most importantly that AI can be used for harm and as well as good. That's the other thing that I think the Ministry of Digital is looking into. I mean, looking at technology and rolling out technology in three main thrusts, which is infrastructure, cyber resilience, and also talent. So in terms of cyber resilience, your greatest or your first line of defense is not your great firewall, but it's your people. If your people is not aware and understand the risk that comes with generative AI, happily uploading all your private and confidential thing in your free, GPT, as simple as that. Or your people is not aware that a malicious email comes in with a link, especially the one with the face of PM and say like, recently this came in through Facebook. PM's face, KWSP will give you 3,000 a month.
Oh.
Of course, money, people will click and that's it. Wow. So I think the biggest challenge is people awareness.
So at least there are efforts going on. And it's interesting that the CEO that I mentioned, he's got about 3,500 people. He said he's educating all the rank and file also, right, to at least be aware of AI, and that is a tool for them to use so that they can ideate and they feel they're part of the process, right, to help the company improve. So we're doing it at a national level. So, okay.
Yeah, I just want to add a little bit more. So AI untuk rakyat was very much AI untuk rakyat. And then we felt that we need to expand a bit more. So when we launch National AI Office next week, 12/12, we are launching the National AI Office. I think most people, I'm not sure who was invited, but it's going to be a big thing. PM's going to launch it. There will be forums. If you want to be invited, please, drop your email. Give me your cards. Who can be there? Yeah, I think we would love to have you there because it's going to be a full day event. Although PM only be there in the morning to launch, but we'll have forums and discussions to delve further into AI. What was I going to say? Okay, so it's going to launch Rakyat Digital, a portal that will also have cybersecurity untuk rakyat, cloud untuk rakyat. So we are building that up and we are looking for partners, I say PPP, right? Yeah. So we're looking for partners who can provide content for us and these kind of things are usually free for the rakyat.
Free
so
for the rakyat, but will you be paying the partners or the
No,
partners
it's CSR.
Oh, CSR, okay,
Yeah.
just so you are a partner, you no commercial, but for you there. Okay. I saw Dixon, so you're not interested. Yeah.
No, but I think in terms of talent, I have to give credit to IBM. I think they're a staunch supporter for developing talents in Malaysia. Okay. They are our partner with our Executive Digital Leadership Program.
The one you mentioned.
Yes. So the first year participants, I think 205 graduated from various industries. This is a course where we worked with Asia School of Business and MIT Sloan. It's really high quality, specially curated session for the leaders who are not tech savvy, for them to understand the complexity of digital transformation, and so that they can lead, go back and lead. So it's especially for SMEs, we seem to be having difficulty to get SMEs on board. And
every country does the same.
Yeah, and Roshni's highlight the first is funding, I think it's important that we get the message out there that SMEs need to come on board on digitalization, especially in using IoTs, using AI, because if you will be left behind. Yeah, of course. Like the quote just now.
Dixon was saying, right, the law of the jungle, eat
yes,
or be eaten.
Correct. So they will be left behind, especially when sustainability become ESG become a important component in awarding contracts.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, Elena, just quickly, because you mentioned it, if people are interested, how do they register for the next phase of the program?
The next cohort will start next year. So please go to mydigital.gov.my under initiatives, Executive Digital Leadership Program. Yeah. There's a discount for SMEs, 50%, and also HRDF. 50%, huh? Yeah, HRDF claimable. For the rest, I think it's 25%. So please spread the word and take up this opportunity.
All right, now we're going just to do a quick wrap up now. The same question for all of them, just to give you a quick highlight answer. Any questions anyone here in the audience has? Otherwise, this is your last chance, right? So, okay. We've got a senior journalist sitting at the back of the room. I'm sorry. Okay, you cannot ask because you'll have many questions to ask. You can reach out to them after this. Okay, Raj there. Sorry. Okay, let me start with you, Rushdi, right? looking ahead, how do you envision the role of AI evolving in the industry you're in over the next 5 years? So for you, not really industry, but ecosystem.
Yeah, well,
same question for the rest then.
Well, the idea is, Mr. Siva just now talked about Malaysia being 23rd in terms of AI readiness.
Yeah, out of 30 countries.
All right.
So you could say we're 8 from the bottom also, right? Being a Malaysian with a chip on the shoulder, alamak.
But that's the thing. In terms of readiness, throughout a lot of rankings, we are always ranked high in terms of readiness. My worry is Malaysia will be ready, ready, set, go, will be in perpetual readiness state, not willing to go. But again, government roles is actually to just provide the right ecosystem for business to thrive. Now the businesses, the industry should be the one making the jump. So as I said, at MITE, what we're doing is we're helping industries to actually identify the problem that could be solved via AI. And for example, tomorrow we're going to have a meeting at MITE with regards to aerospace innovation ecosystem, and I think about 50 aerospace stakeholders are going to be there. So the idea is always that, so that there is a need to move, but move faster.
Yeah, all right. Okay, very good. Thanks. I like that. And Dr. Sadish?
So what I think for the next 5 years, in terms of Bursa, we are looking very much in terms of embarking in Gen AI, especially producing sustainability reports. I think that is already in our KPI, that how are we going to help the rest of the PLCs or private limited companies to understand where they are, how can they compare against their competitors, and how could they actually leverage on their carbon tax and so on and so forth. So this would be something that we are looking at. We are putting everything in a nice product, and it may be cross-referenced across Asia as well as other parts of the world and exchange.
Interesting. Okay, so when you're saying that where you think Gen AI will be in the next 5 years for your organization, you think it's going to be adopted a lot in the sustainability ESG space, reporting space, and measure. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Absolutely.
Long for time.
Okay, I think the telecommunications industry is always the player to convert the ready to go, right? Yeah. So we always at the forefront, right, and also play our core function as to make technology available to public, right, in the cost-effective way, right? So you can't even imagine, right? I mean, 5 years ago, you can have a 2 gig to every home, right? Yeah. Which is more than the data centers bandwidth, right? So I mean, I can foresee in the next few years, definitely AI will incorporate in every single part of the telecommunication operations, right? From there, telecommunication will learn the know-how, right? How to effectively deploy and operate AI, right? In a secure manner as well, right? So after that, definitely telecommunication will open up this capability, right? And make it available to the public, right? As a AI as a service, right? So that in a very cost-effective, so every rakyat or every SME enterprise, right, able to enjoy the AI functionality in developing their own applications or their own use case. So telecommunication will play a very, very important role as a platform, right? As a so-called the AI-enabled platform to all. Okay, this is why I see.
Okay, thank you. Elena, last word.
Okay, sorry. Yes, next 5 years, AI is here to stay, and it's going to be more prominent over the years. Definitely, Malaysia, the vision is for Malaysia to be an AI nation, not just users and adopters of the technology, but producers and creators. And I think we are on the right track. We've got great academias, we've got faculty of AI in not just UTM, but most of our local universities already have faculty of AI. So we have the brains, we have the infrastructure, we have all the ingredients to be a successful AI nation. And I think there's also a move towards creating not just smart cities, but AI cities. The transitioning of the intelligence portion of a city to make things more efficient, more sustainable. I think that is something that we can look forward to in the next 5 years.
Okay, very interesting. Thank you very much. I think if Malaysia wants to show the world and show Malaysian citizens that we are really serious on wanting to be AI nation, we should change the spelling of Malaysia. Instead of ending with SIA, we put the A first and then the IA after that. Right now it's SIA. But people know it's Malaysia, but then we spell it differently, right? Wow, that's strong message. Huh? There you go. Free branding advice to the government. No need to hire McKinsey or IBM. Okay, anyway, with that, thank you all for your time. For those who are at home, devoting your, giving your time to this event, we thank you so much. And Tila Raj and Doc V, I'm a bit disappointed. No killer question from the two of you. Oh, you had? Oh, you wanted to buy? Yeah, now we end already. Like, we already took 15 minutes over. Okay, thank you all. Please network. And like I said, Elena said, you want to take part in the program that they have with IBM and Asia School of Business. Go up to her and talk to her. She may give you another extra Christmas discount. I don't know. Thank you all very much. And give a round of applause again for our panelists. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, over to you. Off ready, I'm not recording. Live stream over.
Thank you. Thank you. We are wrapping up the session today. First of all, let me thank the panelists for sharing your words of wisdom, and also our thought-provoking moderator, Mr. Karam, who has also shared his thought on how we should name the Malaysia spelling. Yeah, with that, I'd like to take the opportunity to thank all the media partners from the media friends. Thank you for your patience, thank you for your time, and also all the audiences here. With that, thank you so much. As the saying goes, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So in terms of AI adoption, it's never be too early or too late. We just need to start now, start small and grow big from there. With that, thank you.